There is no honorable way to kill, no gentle way to destroy. There is nothing good in war, except its ending. These words contrast with the Nordic views of how one should live and die. They are a race who believe there is no more fitting of a death than one gained through the trial of battle. The Nords hold this belief firmly, as it is a fundamental attribute of their culture, and an inherent part of who they are. Not only is a death in battle supposedly needed to pass on into the Nordic afterlife of Sovngarde, it is a fate many Nords wish for, one they look forwards to, and one they often feel compelled to seek out. In a book written by Skyrim Freewinter, he recounts what he experienced in his dream of a visit to Sovngarde. After finding his way through the mist, and upon reaching the fabled Hall of Valor, Skyrim laid his eyes on the great Nord hero, Ysgramor himself. After being asked what he sought, Skyrim answered, "I seek counsel, for tomorrow we fight a desperate battle, and my heart is full of fear." In reply, Ysgramor said, "Remember this always, son of the North. A Nord is judged not by the manner in which he lived, but the manner in which he died." Skyrim wrote about this dream only the day after he awoke from it, the same day he and the troops he led would fight and reclaim the Imperial City from the hands of the Thalmor in the Fourth Era, year 175, the time of the Great War. These stories and concepts help us to understand the Nords, and help us better grasp just how they view war, and how it affects them. The Nords are a hardy people who share an admirable aspiration to overcome whatever obstacles dare hinder them. Historically, they have triumphed over forces some feared unstoppable, and given rise to great warriors who would never be forgotten. To this day, they fulfill a variety of roles in their society, from ambitious bards who travel Skyrim and perform for the denizens of inns, to famed wizards who teach magic and wield it righteously. The Nords are undoubtedly not as small-minded a people as they are often viewed. Although they share a mutual trust and fellowship amongst themselves, Nords are a headstrong sort, and sometimes their drive to overcome what they believe a threat can turn them against even their own neighbors. The Nords today find themselves embroiled in war. Son against son, daughter against daughter. For the children of Skyrim fight a desperate battle, one that will forever alter the identity of their land, and possibly Tamriel as a whole. Referred to by many in Skyrim as the Civil War, it has affected the lives of every man and woman, from Riften to Solitude. Its beginning can be traced to one man, Ulfric Stormcloak. He is the leader of the Stormcloak army, who assert that they are the true sons and daughters of Skyrim. They believe the Empire is their oppressor, and seek to reclaim Skyrim from the hands of their enemy. Ulfric, who is once himself a soldier in the Imperial Legion, fought during the Great War, against the Dominion. After the Empire's defeat and the signing of the White Goat Concordat, Ulfric was enraged and felt betrayed by the Empire. He tells us more about this when we ask him why he is fighting the Civil War.
We're fighting because we're done bleeding for an empire that won't bleed for us. Untold numbers of Nords died defending the empire against the Dominion. And for what? Skyrim being sold to the Thalmor so the Emperor could keep his throne. We're fighting because our own Jarls, once strong, wise men, have become fearful and blind to the people's suffering. We're fighting because Skyrim needs heroes, and there's no one else but us.
The Civil War has brought with it hardships felt by all those in Skyrim. It has divided its people, and torn apart the once prospering land the Nords call home. The war has become worse with the recent death of High King Torrig, ruler of Skyrim. He was killed by Ulfric, in what some call a duel, others a murder. Tradition once held that when the High King had died, the Jarls of each hold would convene to elect the new High King, something now impossible, as those Jarls today now refuse to even talk to each other. When speaking with the people of Skyrim, we can often ask their opinions on the war, and learn more about how they're being affected by it. Although many of Ulfric's own supporters have suffered deeply due to the war, they remain loyal to his cause, in the belief that despite what they've lost, the prospect of an independent Skyrim seems a worthy justification. One of these people, Volwolf Snowshod, tells us his story.
You're not from around here. Imperial spy, perhaps?
Why all the hatred for the Empire?
They mean to take our history and crush it all in the name of some damn treaty. The soil beneath our feet is steeped in the blood of our ancestors. We've fought for this land, and died for it. I lost my own daughter to the Imperial dogs, and by Talos I'll not lose anyone else.
What happened to your daughter?
Lelia joined the Stormcloaks many years ago, when the first of the skirmishes broke out across Skyrim. I was so proud of her. She served as a battle maiden, using her healing arts to help those that fell on the battlefield. Never even lifted a blade in her life. It didn't matter. The Imperial soldiers cut her down, killed her like a dog, and left her body to rot in the mud. And that's why I won't rest easy until every single Imperial soldier joins her, and Ulfric sits upon the throne of Skyrim.
The war has caused the deaths and injuries of many people, both soldiers and innocents, who now depend on the kindness of others to survive, something Lilia likely saw and felt compelled to help. After seeing the destruction caused by the war, many Nords in Skyrim now simply wish for peace and an end to the conflict. There are still those who refuse to take a side and could care less about the victor, so long as the fighting doesn't affect them or their families. Many of these people live in the cities of the Stormcloaks and the Empire, but there are also the hunters, adventurers, and traders of Skyrim, who travel the lands in search of their own destinies, a lifestyle many Nords now wish for. It is unclear which side will inevitably win, although even with the end of the war, were such a day to come, the devastation and lives lost because of it will no doubt burden the Nords and their land for years after. The consequences of the war will never truly be forgotten, and neither will the memories of the people who were damaged by it. Maybe one day, the Nords will reunite and once again embrace the brothers and sisters who became their enemies years ago. But until that day comes, for now, we can only wait. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Koo, and I'll see you in the next video.